Knights at the Round Table, a round table discussion on speculative fiction books and film. Alright, hi everybody, welcome to the next episode of Knights at the Round Table. Today we are discussing the Studio Ghibli film Spirited Away. When was this? I want to say it was 2009? I feel like it was 2009.
No, it was definitely earlier than that.
It was earlier than that? Because the only other date I have in my head is for Eric the Viking, which was 89. But that's not the movie we're doing currently.
2001.
Oh, 2001. Sorry.
Oh.
My bad. 2001 Studio Ghibli film.
Not a big difference.
Spirited Away. I'm sitting at the table here with Nathan and with Marjolaine, and I'd like to start with general impressions of the film. Marjolaine, you get to go first.
I like the bits of the movie that I was able to see because my viewing experience was very, very strange.
Oh, okay.
I do not own the movie in physical copy. It's not available for streaming.
Yeah, no, I noticed that.
I did find a version on YouTube, but they did something really strange with the visual. Like they would play a first 10 seconds of clip normally and then put a clip from like a minute later then another 10-second clip, and then they would jump back and forth. Like it was a headache trying to keep along with that. And the audio track seemed to be all in one go, all complete, and it was all in Japanese.
Oh, so you didn't get any subtitles?
I did not get any. Well, how would I get the subtitles when the visual was like that?
Yeah, that's true.
Do you speak Japanese?
I speak just enough Japanese that I recognized it when the character was talking about her mother and her father. She said Otosan and Okasan.
Yeah.
And I recognized that she was calling the older girl that was training her around at the bathhouse, she was calling her Oni-chan, big sister.
Yeah, big sister.
So
yeah.
I could get that part. I'm very proud of myself for that. I've only been training myself in Japanese by watching anime.
I'm impressed with you.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Nathan.
This is one of my favorite Miyazaki movies of all time. It's also my youngest son's favorite movie. To me, it's just like a classic that I've loved since the first day I saw it and every day since. So I may be biased, but you know.
Watching it for this panel was my very first viewing. I finished watching it this morning.
Where did you find it?
I had it online. I had the English dub version. I couldn't find the Japanese version with the subtitles, which is what I prefer. But the English dub was fine.
Yeah, it's a great dub.
Yeah, it's a good dub. Like, the voice acting was brilliant. So, it was decent. And the story itself is utterly charming. I loved this movie. I have been sleeping on this movie. I'm so sorry. It's such a delight. I really enjoyed it. So, because I want to get the bad stuff out of the way because there's a ton of awesome stuff that I want to talk about. Was there anything that you noticed that you didn't like about the film?
Not for me.
There was a teeny tiny thing, and I'm not sure. It's probably it might be just me blowing something out of proportion, and it's something that I don't know that I am the best person to talk about. But the witch woman, like the bathhouse owner, a tiny old woman with a big hooked nose, was obsessed with money and kidnaps children.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
But only just now. I didn't make the connection while I was watching it.
Yeah, I didn't make the connection either. To me, it was just like a lot of witches are stylized that way, they're stylized that way for a reason. But for me, it's just like an artistic.
Yeah, maybe the Goyim shouldn't be talking about that, but you know, it's.
But then you also have her twin sister, who looks exactly the same, who isn't.
Yeah.
And who's like a big helpful force in the movie too.
Yeah. Oh god, Grandma was a delight.
She's amazing.
I loved her
so much. She's so no nonsense. Like, you just sit over there.
Yeah.
You're good at that, do that.
Yeah. She reminds me a lot of, I guess, my own grandma in that way. Like, my own grandma was absolutely no nonsense. But also was that same sort of warm, would make you a cup of tea and give you some cookies. Kind of. She didn't spin, though.
Mhm.
There was no spinning wheel in her house. Okay, so the things I loved about this movie, other than everything, I really loved how it drew so much on myths that were familiar to me, but then changed it around just enough so that it was still interesting. So the whole travel through a portal into another world thing, you get trapped there if you eat their food. That's very sort of fairyland Celtic myth. Also, you see it a lot in Greek myth with Persephone and the pomegranate
Yeah.
seed.
Yeah.
I love the if you're greedy, you get turned into an animal that is also seen as greedy. Oh god, what's her name? I can only remember her name when she's forgotten her name. It's not Sen, it's
Chihiro.
Chihiro. When Chihiro's parents just start eating the food, which they're not really entitled to, but they did because they were hungry, they get turned into pigs. Which, I mean, yeah, that's in every witch story ever. So, I really enjoyed that. I also enjoyed...
And if Sen doesn't work hard enough, she'll be turned into coal, which is some dead weight that you just burn.
Yeah, exactly. And the little soots. Oh, the
I
little
love
soot
the little
creatures! They were so cute!
And they eat these little candy things.
Yeah. One of my favorite things is when this one soot is carrying a piece of coal that's too heavy for it, and it gets squished.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sen picks it up and throws it into the fire. And then all of the little soots are like, oh no, it's too heavy!
Yeah, please, you have to do this for me. But then there's this really important lesson about, like, he tells her, like, look, you can't just come in and take someone else's job.
Yeah.
You know, they only exist so long as they're working. If they stop working, they'll go back to being just soot and not, like, these lively little animals that have, like, full existence.
Yeah.
So it's you know, there's a whole balance, like, everything has its place.
Yes.
And I also love the fact that, like, okay, Yubaba is sort of an antagonist, but she's not really. She's just kind of running a business, and she has to obey her own rules. Like, there's no clear villain in that movie that they're fighting against. They're fighting against a system of rules that holds everybody where they are. And you know, Sen...
Capitalism from the peanut gallery.
But, you know, Sen doesn't accept that because she has her own needs and she needs to get past that to get back to her own life and her parents and get out of this world. But she has to do it, like, kind of within the rules and to break those rules eventually. But she triumphs against this system and everybody's happy for her with no exception.
I really like that triumphing over this system really comes down to just being kind.
Absolutely.
Just helping each other out. Like...
listening to people.
So the... Paramount, I think, is the scene with the stink demon.
Yeah.
Who isn't actually a stink demon. Just a very polluted river spirit.
And nobody wants to deal with it.
Nobody wants to deal with it.
And
so
they send her because...
Because, you know,
she's the rookie.
She's the rookie. She's the new one. Gotta cut her teeth. And it turns out that because she does her job, and because she does it with kindness, it's discovered that actually it's just a bunch of polluted... It's a water spirit that's been terribly polluted.
A very powerful water spirit.
Powerful water spirit, yeah. So, and then she gets a little bezel thing. I don't know what I'm calling it a bezel. It didn't come from the goat stomachs. The goat... Oh my word! Stomach of a goat. But I'm still calling it a bezel. Because it cures all. I also liked the henchman kid boy, who's also Haku, who's also a water dragon / spirit.
Oh, I had such a big crush on him.
I can imagine being very young and having an
I wasn't very young. I mean, like, I was 20 by the time this movie came out. But I was still like, oh, my like, child heart has a crush on this kid. If I had grown up watching that movie, I would have, like, solidly devoted my love to this kid.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I love how aspersions on his character were cast, and then you I wasn't quite sure whether he could actually be trusted, but turns out, yes, he can.
But also, maybe he couldn't all the way because
Of that little...
of that curse
Yeah.
that Yubaba placed on him to make him forget who he was.
And the little, I don't know, black grub thing
Yeah.
that she planted in him so that she could control him.
Yeah.
Which Sen squished beneath her foot.
Yeah.
That
That
was-
scene is so much fun.
Oh my god, when the transformed baby just goes to, starts playing, like, puts his foot down on the stain, is like,
Yeah.
break the curse!
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
like, oh, this is unbearably cute.
Oh.
And that's adorable. I wish I'd seen it properly.
Oh, I wish you had too. Honestly, I'm so
Well,
sad.
you will
Yeah,
get
I'm
to.
borrowing the DVD.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I got to watch this movie. And it was one of the major thoughts as the credits started rolling was, I'm really glad I'm on this panel. Like, I'd not have watched the movie otherwise. Just, oh, it was so good.
Well, I'm glad you were too. Miyazaki movies are special for so many ways, so many reasons.
Yeah,
But Spirited Away is something. It's kind of like a cut above a lot of the other movies,
yeah. So the only
and they're not like they're pretty high standard to begin with.
the only other Miyazaki or Studio Ghibli was Princess Mononoke.
Okay.
That's the only other one I've watched, which was delightfully twisted but also incredibly sad.
Hmm.
And I don't have very many memories of it except for a wolf's head go flying across the screen. So it wasn't anything like that. This was utterly charming.
Hmm. And this is a movie that I can watch with my 5-year-old.
Yeah.
And he will be absolutely delighted by it. Actually, with the scene when they start, when like the sun starts going down and she realizes, oh my god, she's in this town with spirits and there's sort of like shadows moving around. He always comes and he grabs my arm and he's like, I'm scared of these monsters, Daddy. And every time I'm like, do you want me to turn it off? He's like, no.
Cute. Also, how that Spirit Town, I guess, I was going to call it Fairy Town, but no, Spirit Town comes alive is really beautiful.
Oh, it's
Just
gorgeous.
the lanterns come on, and then you can see like the shades slowly filling in
Hmm.
and becoming, and then the boat comes across the river,
Yeah, which
And-
wasn't even there
which
before.
wasn't even there before, and oh, that was so good.
Yeah, you can really feel the transition into this whole new world. And even like once she's eaten the piece of food that Haku gives her for like so that she doesn't disappear, there is this entire world that is sort of like halfway through the physical. You know that scene where she's on the train and she's going to Yubaba's sister's house?
And there were
And there's a bunch of other people there. Like, who are these people? Are they spirits? Like, are they like the real world that is only existing as a shadow and not seeing her?
yeah, right?
Is she the ghost now in the human world?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Yes, same. I loved No Face
Me too! Oh my god, me too! So much.
so much. I was utterly confused by No Face.
Yeah.
And then my heart broke for No Face. And then in the end I was like, "Aw, No Face now has a friend."
Exactly, and this is what I mean by like this movie has no clear big villain. Like, okay, No Face comes around and he stuffs his face, and then he eats 3 people, and he's still not the villain. He's just this like really deeply misunderstood person who has like needs, emotional needs that he's filling with physical things because nobody taught him how to be at ease with his emotions until like Chihiro actually sits down and listens to him and like, okay, well, come with me and like be with me for a little while and we'll sit together in our awkward, sad silence. And that is what he needs.
Yeah. I loved how confused No Face was when Chihiro wouldn't accept
Yeah.
more than what she needed. So everybody else in the bathhouse was like, all the gold, all the time. And Chihiro was just like, no thanks, I appreciate it, but I got places to be. And then No Face was just like, but I have all of this, take it. But take it, I don't understand, take it. And then all the sad noises.
Yeah.
No Face. But that's okay, he can help Grandma spin now.
Exactly.
May I interject? Have you heard the story about Adam Savage dressing as No-Face?
Yes.
No.
Okay, Sonya can tell it. She's on
Adam
camera.
Savage dressed as No Face for Comic Con,
That's awesome.
and he went out handing chocolate coins to everyone, and then a whole bunch of people were like giving him back the chocolate coins, going, no, if we take this, it's actually a really bad thing. He's like, I had no idea. But yeah, it was, I don't think it was his first cosplay, but it was the one that he wrote about, or did an interview about, I think, and it stuck out to him as how seriously people took cosplay
They do,
in
yeah.
that moment. Yeah.
Well, we do. I do.
Yeah, so lots of people just wouldn't accept chocolate coins from him, and those that got them went running back to him afterwards and were like, no, take it back, don't eat me.
Yeah, he does that a lot, trying to build more and more fancy costume, extreme costume, but that cover him in his shape as much as possible to try to be incognito as Comic-Con.
Oh, off topic. A few Comic-Cons ago, I saw photos, I think it was at a San Diego Comic-Con, of the main demon thing from the Diablo games in costume, fully functioning with lights. Like the wings spread out, they were all mechanical, and it was like 9 feet tall, because the guy was on like those goat-hoofed riser things, and it was just stunning.
That's amazing.
Yeah, there's no way. There's
I
no
wish
way
I had
could.
that time in me.
Yeah, there's just no way I could pull off a costume that detailed. It was incredible. Like, it looked spectacular. All right, but back to
Indeed.
Spirited Away.
Is there something about the connection that Chihiro has with water? Because
Yes.
it's the thing I noticed. I mean, yeah, she has that close bond with Haku, and she cleans up the polluted river spirit.
So,
apparently, go ahead.
I was going to say, so the thing with Haku is, before he got entrapped in this world, he was a water dragon, a water spirit, for a river that no longer exists.
Oh.
And when Chihiro was little, she lost one of her shoes in this river, went to grab it, and fell in. But Haku, as this river, took her back to shore to safety. And so they were connected that way.
Okay.
So she felt something very familiar about Haku when they first met, and he remembered her real name for some reason, even though he couldn't remember his own. Yeah. So that was I was very confused in the first one when they're falling, and this is the first time she rides Haku as the dragon. It cuts to her underwater.
Yeah.
Very briefly, and I was just like, the fuck? What's happening here? Don't understand. And then I didn't get it because my brain was mush from 2 bottles of wine the night before. When they're flying through the air, and then it shows it again because she's riding him again, and I'm like,
It's when she takes his horns.
Yeah, when she takes his horns, I'm like, oh, wait, they've met before. Bing. Yeah, that was a nice touch.
Yeah.
Such a good movie.
Oh, it's amazing.
Eric, who is behind the camera, was saying in the break that one of the things he liked about Miyazaki movies is that there's just generally something so joyful or hopeful about them that you don't really find in a lot of other movies. And I found, for this one, not for Princess Mononoke so much, which is the only one I remember. I don't remember too much joyful about that one, but this one absolutely was just hopeful.
Yeah.
Just hopeful.
Well, it was like, no matter how the world and all of its rules get you down, if you're kind to people, you will find your way. And it's such a great and important thing to teach young people, but all people, because we all could stand to be kinder to each other.
I was just about to start a fake argument. Sorry. Yes, we could stand kinder to each other. And I like that's how you get out of trouble. It's just be kind, do what's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be kind, do what's right, and you will gain some allies. You will gain some allies, especially if it comes from the bottom of your heart.
Yeah. Which, I mean, for Chihiro was the entire bathhouse.
Yeah, it's amazing because at the very end, when she comes back and she has like one last task to prove like that she's worthy or whatever to get out of there, and like the witch is like, well, she needs to do one last task. The whole bathhouse is like, boo! And then when she gets it right, even the witch is happy for her.
Yeah, the cheering at the end.
Yeah, it's amazing. It just kind of fills your heart with this kind of warm feeling, and you want to go hug some people.
I was in bed watching this morning, and the cat was with me, and it was just the snuggliest, most possible place to be watching the snuggliest possible movie. It was really sweet. No, I can't say enough good things about it. I think just because I found it so utterly charming, genuinely delightful, I teared up a few times.
Yeah. And there's also like this understanding of what children are like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like children have the good sense of being afraid of things they don't understand.
Yeah.
Or they don't know. You know, like she's like, oh wait, this seems spooky. Why are we going in there? Why are you eating this food that's just there? Like, why aren't you
We're
asking
gonna get
questions?
into trouble. Yeah.
You know, like, and children also are really resilient, and are like, despite being frightened, can like do extraordinary things.
Yes. Oh, she was such a courageous little girl.
That scene with the stairs. Oh my god!
My god, when she fell down, like just all the way down, and then she slams into the bottom, into the wall at the bottom. I'm like, yeah, that would be me.
And all of those characters are so rich and complex and three-dimensional. Like, you have so many characters that you see for maybe 5 total minutes. Like the Boiler Man.
Oh god, the boy, I love him.
He was like your grandpa.
Yeah, essentially.
He was great.
He was cranky
Yeah.
and working really hard.
I have no time for this stuff, but he's gonna help you anyway.
Yes, and then my black heart broke a little bit when Chihiro was asleep.
Yeah.
And he reaches over and throws a blanket on top of her so she doesn't get a chill. I'm just like, aww, weird Spider-Man.
You watched it in English, you said.
I did.
Did you watch it in English?
Both.
Did you
I've seen it
recognize the
several
voice?
times. In English?
Yeah, of the grandfather guy.
No.
I didn't particularly dislike it.
No, I asked if you recognized it.
Oh, if I recognized it? No.
Who is it?
David Argent-Steers.
I don't know that name.
Who's that?
Hogsworth in the original Beauty and the Beast. Cogsworth and her.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
From MASH.
I know him from MASH principally, but he's done a lot of voice acting stuff, including
Wait,
Cogsworth.
who was he in MASH?
The priest? No,
No,
the rich guy.
the rich guy, Emerson Winchester III.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And that's why I was trying to make sense of the movie I was watching, and I ended up scrolling on Wikipedia, and I saw the list of the actors, and I was, oh, I know that name.
So we're coming on to the last little bit of this movie. I just want to say, for the last thing that I loved about this movie is the animation itself was absolutely gorgeous. The way these people moved made sense. It didn't look weird. And then there were some really tiny movements and individual movements that lent the characters more depth, but sort of on a visual scale. It was just really beautifully done. I'm struggling to find a Western animation that managed to capture all of that so well. I can't think of one.
Yeah, it's a piece of art.
It is absolutely a piece of art.
And the score, the musical score,
the
oh my
music was
god.
gorgeous. Oh, there's so much to
Absolutely.
like about this film. I could rave on about it for days.
I think it won an Oscar for the score.
Did it?
I think so.
Should have
You
won
think
an
it would
Oscar
put
for
it on the
Look at
top
the
of the...
cover.
It doesn't say on the cover.
There's 3 things on the cover underneath.
And the Oscars in one of them.
Best animated feature.
Was it nominated or won Best
Well,
Picture?
that's like other contests. So I guess winning best animated film and best feature elsewhere is better than like just winning this for the score.
Well,
I
no,
guess.
I think the cover itself is pretty empty. I think if it had won an Oscar, it could have squeezed it in with
Are
the
you
others.
googling it?
Yep.
Thank you, Eric.
Is Nathan also googling it? Battle of the
Yes.
Googles.
Battle of the Googles. Whose Google flu is stronger?
Wait, seriously?
You don't have a section for
It,
Oh my.
Oh my.
It's a very long list.
I can imagine. It was
Yeah.
a stunning movie.
Saturn Awards, British Comedy Awards, Annie Awards. Academy Awards. Best Animated Feature. 1. That's it.
Oh,
It won?
it won
Yeah,
Best Animated
Feature.
Feature. Oh, well, there
I
you
was
go.
sure it had, oh, it had been nominated. It definitely was
2003.
nominated.
Alright, so final thoughts and star rating. I'm gonna spare you because you haven't seen it properly.
Thank you.
Nathan.
It was and remains one of my favorite movies of all time. 5 out of 5.
I'm-
Solid.
Yeah, I'm buying this movie for my personal collection so I can watch it whenever I want. It was absolutely stunning. 5 out of 5.
Wow. Is this the second time you give a 5?
No, I've given a few.
There's this and the other one where you're not supposed to eat the food.
Oh, Pan's Labyrinth. God, I love that movie.
Too much, and I'm here for the next 2.
Okay, that's one. And that one is...
Is it the one you just put in, or is
No.
it?
It's Princess Mononoke.
I guess we're doing 2 Ghibli next time.
I guess so.
Just put in Kiki's Delivery Service or something else.
Yeah,
in there.
really.
The full episode.
Owl's Moving Castle.
Yeah.
Oh, I really
I
do
haven't
want to
seen
see
that
that
one
one though. All right, so the
good.
next, one of the next movies we'll be reviewing for this panel is Princess Mononoke, and I think I will rewatch it and be on the panel again because I remember having thoughts about it when I watched it. All right, if you have any thoughts about Spirited Away, love it or hate it, leave it in the comments below. Sometimes I look and may answer.
think we
Maybe.
Stuff. I think we have comments.
Do we have comments?
Google Foo activate. I don't think I've seen that either.
Oh, well, there you go.
Well, there.
Lots of laughter, I think. I think that's what that emoticon is. That or she chopped off someone's head.
Sue, did you chop off someone's head? Okay.
And
All right, we're going to leave
yes,
it.
that is laughter, she said.
Yes, that is okay. Thanks. We're gonna leave it there. Stick around because we are going to go through another. Should we do the other movie?
Sure.
Eric the Viking. Oh,
Hello.
we will be back for a panel on Eric the Viking. Thanks very much, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.